Do you ever have imposter syndrome? Fear of going out on social media and putting yourself out there or showing up on camera? Or maybe it's around selling your products and services on webinars. I'm going to give you 3 easy tips to help you have more confidence right away. If you're new here or you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss out on tips, tutorials, and strategies to be an awesome digital entrepreneur. Hi, my name's Annie Bauer. I'm a certified high-performance coach and a digital biz strategist. I teach purpose-driven online entrepreneurs how to start or scale their business the faster and the easier way. And stick around for the bonus tip at the end. It's the best way to overcome those jitters when you're feeling scared to put yourself out there on camera. Tip number 1 is start small. So let's say that you want to do a pre-recorded video for your community, your group, or maybe to put that out there in an email to your audience. So that would be where I would start before you do lives. But you could be the type of person who's feeling so much fear and discomfort in front of the camera that even that feels a little intimidating. So I would say to do this. Turn on your camera and start carrying it around with you everywhere. Get used to seeing yourself in the camera. Get used to being comfortable talking to the camera and finding your personality and your vibe, your cadence in front of the camera. That would be the first step. And just do 1 or 2 minute little videos and play them back for yourself. And then once you start getting comfort with the camera and the tech and showing up and looking at the screen, then I want you to record a 1 to 2 minute video and share it with a small group of people you trust. Now this can be friends or family, or you can pick a small group of people from your community and share it with them. Then you're going to move up from there, from small groups to larger groups until you feel really comfortable and you've gotten some good feedback from people who you trust. Then send that small short video out to a larger group, like your email list, or post it on social media. When you get comfortable with these smaller steps, then you'll eventually be able to work yourself up to larger and larger audiences and longer videos, and then eventually to doing a live. Tip number 2, power posing. Sit or stand in power poses. No kidding. When we sit or stand in poses that take up more space, throw our shoulders back, and feel more strength in our body, we actually will physically feel stronger and mentally and emotionally feel stronger as well. Research shows us that testosterone levels, which are associated with being more assertive, more confident, and feeling stronger in our bodies, actually go up, and cortisol levels, which are associated with things like fear, go down depending on the way that we carry ourselves. If you want to read more about this, you can check out Amy Cuddy's book called Presence. Testosterone exists even in women, and the more we can raise our testosterone levels, the more we feel confident, assertive, and strong. Cortisol is present in males and females, and the more cortisol we have racing through our systems, the more we feel scared, anxious, or nervous. So here's an activity that you can do to strike a power pose right before you need to go on camera or do that scary webinar. Put your arms up in a huge V. Make yourself really big and feel the strength in your body. Or put your arms on your hips in a Wonder Woman pose and spread your feet apart where they're about shoulder width apart. Hold that pose either in the V or victory pose, like you would see runners do after they've finished a long race or a marathon, or in the Wonder Woman pose, and hold that pose for 2 minutes and breathe in and out deeply. Do this before you're about to go on a webinar, or before you appear on camera, or before you start that live, or before anything that makes you feel a little scared or nervous. You want to increase the testosterone levels in your body, and you want to drop that cortisol level, breathing in and out, and feeling the confidence and the strength rise up in your body. Tip number 3 is around criticism. Now there's 2 types of criticism. There's the criticism that comes with the haters, which really doesn't help you very much at all. And then there's the type of criticism that we call constructive criticism. Now, how do we know who to take advice from and which criticism is actually helpful? Well, here's my action-oriented tip for you. Get out a very small piece of paper and write down 2 to 3 names of people that you feel will give you good, solid, honest feedback that comes from the heart, but isn't truly intended to help you and is from a place of kindness. Take that piece of paper with the 3 names on it, and I want you to fold it up and keep it in your wallet or your handbook or somewhere where it's really accessible. And I want you to keep looking at that list, and that's your short list of people that you take advice and feedback from. Only take constructive criticism from that very short list. And for all the rest of the criticism, the opinions that you get from everyone else out there in the world, just say thank you so much and move on. And there's one more point around the haters specifically out there on the interwebs. Every day we're putting ourselves out there where people can see and hear and read what we have to produce. We're on social media, we're on websites, we're on lives, we're on podcast interviews. And you always hear that piece of advice of ignore the haters are going to come. Because the person who's out there actually taking action is the person who's going to subject themselves to criticism that's unwarranted and sometimes very harsh. But I'm going to take this a step further. In order for us to ignore the haters and for their feedback and their comments to have no effect on us, we need to take our egos to neutral, which means that we also don't put a whole lot of investment in adulation and praise out there as well. So when people say, oh, you're great, you're awesome, you look so good on camera, you're so amazing, we have to keep our egos in check, keep them in neutral, say thank you so much, appreciate our audience and what they have to say, but not get our egos wrapped up in the adulation and the praise and living for that, or you'll be producing content that will be for the praise, not for the value of the content. And in addition to that, if you're putting too much stock in the praise, then it's going to hurt even more when that hater comes along. These people don't know you. They're not in your inner circle. They may be your audience and you may love your community very much, just as I do, but they don't truly know you. So if we keep our egos in neutral, then the praise and the hate, no matter what it is, it stays neutral, and we realize that we're just there to produce content, to help people, to solve problems, and to change lives, and we stay focused on that most of all. Now, if any of these tips really resonate with you, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Tell me about a time or situation when you've felt afraid to go on camera or felt afraid to do that live or to sell your product or service. And maybe you've encountered one of these situations where a tip would help you. I'd love to know about it in the comments below. Now stick around because we're coming up on that bonus on how to get over camera jitters. It's coming up at the end. But if you've loved the 3 tips that you've gotten so far, download my free guide. The guide is called The Smart Better Life Confidence Formula, Easy Steps to Becoming a More Confident You. And for those of you who've hung out with me till the end, here's the bonus tip I promised you. So this is a question I get a lot from my students. What do I do when I feel that fear right before I'm ready to go live or hit record on my camera? The standard answer you hear all the time is, well, just picture the audience in their underwear. That doesn't really work for me because then all I can do is laugh and crack up the whole time. But here's my strategy that I think will help you even more. I want you to think about your audience out there and remember that you're there on that stage or appearing live or recording on your camera because you're there to help them. It's not about us, it's about them. And they're caring less about how we look or what we say or how we're going to show up than they do about how much do we care about them and how much can you help them solve their problem. So if you liked these tips that I shared today on how to grow your confidence and how to overcome your fears so that you can be the best version of you and grow a better business and a life, make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. There'll be more information like this coming your way because I'm here to support you in your business, your life, and your dreams. And make sure to check out our videos on other subjects like this or other things related to the world of the online entrepreneur.